Right, so we're back out in the garage, and this is the cot that I've got to do. This is one of the sides. That's one of the sides, and then we've got two end pieces, the base and another side piece. It is complete. It has the little pin at the side here for the one side to slide up and down, and then the other side is fixed. So it needs a bit of work doing on it. It needs painting. There are a few holes in it where it's had a bit of woodworm, so I need to see how I can treat that to make it child safe. There's a few more holes just here, and there's a lot of holes here, so I'm going to take this off and pop it back on again, because that's completely had it. But this is more solid wood, and it looks like it's only gone into the surface. It can't get into the actual frame itself. So yeah, we're going to have a go with that. I'm going to sand it down, and then I'm going to see what woodworm treatment I can put on it. You can get a water-based one that just soaks straight into the wood. So once it's keyed, that might be something we can do. And then we'll give it a coat of water-based paint. This base here has obviously seen better days. Somebody's tried patching it up to use it, but yeah, I'm not too happy leaving that as it is. So my husband's going to put a piece of hardboard over the top to make it nice and stable, because I don't know how stable that's going to be because it's quite rusted. I just think that'll be the better option. So yeah, it's a lovely old piece. It's probably from the late 1940s, early 1950s. So yeah, it may even have belonged to somebody else and they've inherited it. I really don't know. But I'm going to do my best to put it back together and do my best to renovate it. So I'll show you it again in my next vlog when I've sanded it, and I'll show you when it's finished. Right, okay, so this is the first one. It has got a few woodworm holes in it along the top here, and a little bit of damage at the bottom here, but I might be able to get my husband to even the legs out for me, because that's rotted at that end, and just make it a little bit shorter. It means taking a couple of inches off the bottom, but I think it'll be worth it, because it's rotted quite a bit on the bottom there, being kept in storage for all those years. I've no idea how long it's been in storage for, but let's have a go and see how we get on. Right, I think I'm going to need some stronger sandpaper. I've only got 80 at the moment. So I think I'm going to need more sandpaper. So I'm going to leave that for tonight now and head in, I think. Right, I'm back out in the garage, and I've come out to try and sort the cot out. And yeah, it got me in a bit of a dilemma because it had some rot on the bottom of one of the legs. If I can find it, I'll show you. Where is it? There it is, I found it. It's got rot in the bottom of one of the legs. and where this little pin is where the little piece of metal goes in up to the top of the cot. So I can't trim the legs down, it has to be in that position. So what I've had to do is I'll just turn you around and I'll show you. I've had to cut it at the top. I've had to knock it out here and cut the leg. So that joint goes in there, and then it was attached at the side down there. So I've trimmed it off, knocked that piece out, which is where the leg was attached to, and then loosened this bit out. Now what I've had to do is I've had to get another piece of wood, and this is my other length of wood here. It's not the same thickness, but it'll do the job. So I've done a copy of the joints. I'll just show you. There's the original joints and there's mine. Okay, I've done a copy. I drew it out onto the piece of wood and then cut it with a smaller saw. So that joint now fits in. It fits in nicely up there. It will fit properly in a minute. But what I've got to do is I've got to cut this bit off, because this piece of wood isn't thick enough for me to do this joint, to do a hole for this joint, because it will pretty much go all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off here, and then I'm going to pop that in the hole there, up there when I can find it. That will sit flush in that hole there, and then I will glue it with some strong wood glue to attach it to this piece here. Now I might need to clamp it, so what I will do is I will clamp it through the first bar here and then round the wood on the other side, just to pull it in tight. But the rest of it's been sanded. This piece over here is riddled with woodworm. Just put it in front of the light so you can see. It's riddled with woodworm all the way along. It's got woodworm holes all the way along the top here. So it's had some wood hardener to try and harden that bit of wood, because it was just fraying all over the place. So that's strengthened it a lot. And the whole thing is going to have some woodworm treatment, which is a water-based one, which is this one. It is water-based, so it should be okay for this purpose that I'm using it for. Now this piece is now going to become the bottom of the bar, and that piece is going to be the top, because this originally would have sat at the top and that would have gone up and down on the side. Because of all that damage there, I'm now going to put that on the bottom. I'm going to fill all the holes in, and I've got some wood filler for that. I've just bought some today, and they assure me it's suitable for this purpose, so I'm going to use it for that. But this is the other side piece. I mean, it's a lovely cot, it's a lovely piece. But there's nothing wrong with this one apart from a bit of woodworm. So all these holes here are all going to get filled in with some wood filler. So that's one side. And then that's the other one, the other rail. And then underneath that with the mesh on is the base. And this is the pin that fits in here. It fits down there for the side of the cot, so it can go up and down, so that the rail can move up and down. And then on the other side is a fixed rail. So what I'm probably going to do is use this one as the fixed rail if I can, and try and change over that one to be the one that goes up and down, but we'll have to see. If this is the one that goes up and down, it'll just have to turn round. But yeah, I'm pleased with it so far. So I just need to fix this piece up now, and then I'm going to put the woodworm treatment on it, and then tomorrow I'll fill the holes and I'm going to give it a coat of chalk paint. I'll give it... Okay, so it's the next day and the cot has been sanded down. It's had woodworm treatment on it, which is a water-based one, and I've just started filling all the holes, and I'm using this ready mix wood filler. It was quite bad in some places. This rail is particularly bad. This is supposed to be the top, and the woodworm had a really good go at it. Don't know whether you can see that. It's got lots of woodworm holes in it. It has rotted the wood, so it's had to have wood hardener in it. And because I put wood hardener in it, it's going to have to go on the bottom, because I don't want a baby chewing into that and ending up with bits of wood and bits of wood hardener in their mouth. So I'm going to put that the other way around. So that's then going to be on the bottom. This side then will become the bottom, and this flat side will be the top, and the same on the other side. I've just put wood filler on, so I'm going to go over it with a cloth and get off any excess wood filler, and now it's ready for painting. This is the where are we? I can't even tell which side I've done the repair, but this is the side I did that repair on, just here. Now I need to fill the join here, because for some reason I just couldn't get it to sit right. It just wouldn't sit, but it's been clamped and glued here, and that's a nice sturdy joint that now. I used Gorilla Glue. All these little bits need to come off and be cleaned up, and there's still some woodworm holes along here to be filled in, and the same on the other side. So all these bits like this all need to come off, these bits, and then I'm going to clean them up with a wire brush and put them back on again. So it's coming on nicely. Pleased with it so far. I'll come back in a minute and give it a coat, show you once it's had a coat of paint, and show you what it's looking like. So this is the paint that I'm using. It's a Rustin's chalky finish paint. It is water based, and it's called Windsor White. So I've not used it before, so I'm not sure what it's like. But it says it's washable in water, dry after an hour, so it'll be ideal for in these conditions where I am in the garage. So this is what I'm going to use, and I've got myself a 1-inch brush, so it'll match the size of the spindles. So I'm going to get on with that now, and I'll show you when I'm done. I've painted it the other day, and yeah, the paint fell off. Couldn't believe it. I got up yesterday morning. I painted it on Tuesday night. I painted it in the garage, and I thought it'd be warm enough in the garage to paint it. And I used chalk paint. Went out yesterday morning, and the paint had crumbled off the surface of the cot, off the paint surface. So I had to paint it again yesterday. So I've been working really hard trying to get that done, and it's been that cold here, I just haven't felt like doing anything except... the saga with the cot continues. I took some of the fixings off the old bits of wood yesterday, only to find that they've got pins on the end, so I need to drill into the wood, which I'm a bit nervous about. But yeah, if I do smaller holes and gradually make them bigger, I'm sure that'll work. And one of the little hooks and eyes snapped off as well, so I've got to try and replace that and drill out the metal that's still in the wood that's snapped. So we'll have to see how we get on. But it's all painted now. Thankfully the paint has stayed on and not fell off again since. And hopefully it's going to go to its new home within the next few days. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of that and getting that gone. But yeah. Okay, so this is the cot. It's all been painted. It's all had a good sand, and the leg has been repaired on this part, on this side here, and has all been painted in. Now I've got to put these fixings back on. Where are we? The fixings that are on here have got to be mirrored back on this new piece here, so I've got to put them on. Now I'll just show you. I've got them here. I've cleaned them in caustic soda. I managed to get them off the old piece, clean them up in caustic soda, and all the paint's come off, and they've come up really nice. So I highly recommend trying that if ever you need to. Just a tablespoon of caustic soda in some water in a jar, and they came up lovely. This is what they did look like, these. They had all paint and everything all over them, and they've come up like this. Now I can't do the same with them, unfortunately, because I don't want to dirty my paint, but I might try having a go with the sandpaper and see how we get on. But I don't want to do too much and make a mess. This one here, this is all gnarled because it had woodworm and it had gone to powder, so I put some wood hardener on it. And it's still been sanded back, and it's all been painted, so that's going to go at the bottom instead of the top, as I explained previously. And this piece has turned out really nice, so yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. Unfortunately I painted it and left it in the garage, and the frost had got under the paint and turned it to powder. It was that chalk paint, and it turned it to powder. So yeah, so as you can see, it's nearly finished. I've done the base, that's out in the garage drying. And I've just got to go to the shop and get some bits to put back on, because one of these snapped. So I'm going to replace both of them, so they'll be nice and new. And then I'm going to try and clean these up somehow without getting the rest of it dirty. So they do move, they all move. But I can't get them off. I don't want to ruin it, because these pins, this is one of them, and there's a pin on it, and the pin goes into the wood. So I don't want to start taking it off now. Excuse the focus. I don't want to start taking it off now and it damage the wood. So I've got to try and get that back in here. There's not much space from the bottom, so I'm going to have to be very careful as to how I drill it in. Even if it's just slightly raised on the surface, it'll be fine. Maybe not go in as far. So I've got them to go back in. I've got 1, 2, how's this one going to sit? I mean, that one's going to sit really low. So yeah, I'm going to try and get them back on, and I'll try and get a finished shot for you of it up before it goes to its new owner. So I'll see you in a bit. Today is a very exciting day. The cot is going back to its new home, and I can't wait for it to go back. It's all up, it's all finished, And I thought I would just let you have a little look before it goes into its new home. It was a hard job, it was a long job, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see it go back into its new home. So yeah, should we go out to the garage and have a look? Then I can take it over the road and it can go back where it's supposed to be, just ready to receive a nice new little baby. So I'll take you out in the garage and we'll have a little look. So this is it, all nice and finished, looking beautiful. I think it's about 100 years old. It looks like it's sort of Edwardian time, sort of 1920, 1910, something like that. So that would fall into place with the people that live in the house. So yeah, it's really, really nice. I've managed to replace the leg on this side and the fixings have been cleaned. I wasn't able to fix the fixings on this side. So yeah, it looks really, really good. It's got a little bit battered at the bottom there. With the woodworm, it fell to pieces. It was really, really brittle, so I put some wood hardener on that, and it's all being coated in water-based satin wood, water-based gloss, so it will be completely wipeable. So I'll just show you it. This bit here, the mechanism still works, and it does still move up and down. So I'm loving all these finial bits here. These bits are cleaned off. These are a little bit warped, but it all does still work. So the mattress can go on the base there. That rail was in really good condition. This one was in really good condition. And this is the side that I had to replace. But yeah, you can't even tell. I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm hoping the new owners will be pleased with it. And it can carry on its heritage of having babies in it. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I'll go and get someone to give me a hand, and we're going to put it in the bedroom. Following me on that journey of doing the cot, as you can see behind me, it is absolutely beautiful. I'm thoroughly over the moon with how it turned out, and I can't wait for it to be installed in the bedroom. So I'm just going to go and get someone to give me a hand, and we'll take it over. So that's it for today. So I'll see you soon. Take care now, and bye for now. Bye bye.